Aren't you my friend?
Yes, sometimes, but don't rely on me.
You're only saying that. Besides, everybody already knows my secrets. You see, my mother was a commoner, very humble background. She was brought up believing in social equality, women's rights, and all that. The idea of marriage repelled her. So, when my father proposed, she replied that she would never become his wife, but that he could be her lover. He insisted that he didn't want the woman he loved to be less respected than he. But his passion ruled him. And when she explained the world's respect meant nothing to her, he accepted her conditions. But now his friends avoided him, and his life was restricted to taking care of the estate, which couldn't satisfy him. I came into the world against my mother's wishes, as far as I can understand. She wanted to bring me up as a child of nature, and what's more, to learn everything a boy had to learn, so that I might be an example of how a woman can be as good as a man. I had to wear boys' clothes and learn how to take care of the horses, but I was never allowed in the cowshed. I had to groom and harness the horses and go hunting and even watch them slaughter animals. That was disgusting. On the estate, men were put on women's jobs and women on men's jobs, and we became the laughing stock of the district. Finally, my father rebelled and changed everything his way. My parents were then married quietly. Mother became ill. I don't know what illness it was, but she often had convulsions, hid in the attic and in the garden, and sometimes stayed out all night. Then came the Great Fire, which you've heard about. The house, the stables, the cowshed all burned down under very curious circumstances, suggesting arson, because the accident happened the day after the insurance had expired. The quarterly premium my father sent in was delayed because of a messenger's carelessness and didn't arrive on time.
Don't drink anymore.
Oh, what does it matter? We were left penniless and had to sleep in the carriages. Father had no idea where to find the money to rebuild the house because he had so slighted his old friends that they had forgotten him. Then my mother suggested that he borrowed from a childhood friend of hers, a brick manufacturer who lived nearby. Father got the loan without having to pay interest, which surprised him. And so, that's how the estate was rebuilt. Do you know who started the fire?
The Countess, your mother.
Do you know who the brick manufacturer was?
Your mother's lover.
Do you know whose money it was?
Oh, wait a minute. No, I don't.
It was my mother's.
You mean the Count's? Unless they didn't sign an agreement when they were married.
They didn't. My mother had a small inheritance, which she didn't want under my father's control. So she entrusted it to her friend.
Who stole it?
Exactly. He kept it. All this my father found out, but he couldn't bring it to court. Couldn't repay his wife's lover. Couldn't prove it was his wife's money. It was my mother's revenge for being forced into a marriage against her will. It nearly drove him to suicide. There was a rumor that he tried it with a pistol, but failed. So he managed to live through it. And my mother had to suffer for what she'd done. You can imagine that those were a terrible 5 years for me. I loved my father, but I sided with my mother. And I learned from her to hate men. You've heard how she hated the whole male sex. And I swore to her that I'd never be a slave to any man.
But you were engaged to that lawyer.
In order to make him my slave.
And he wasn't willing?
He was willing, all right. But I got tired of him. I wouldn't let him.
I saw it, you know, out near the stable.
What did you see?
I saw how he broke off the engagement.
That's a lie! I was the one who broke it off. Has he said that he did? That swine!
Oh, he was no swine, I'm sure. So you hate men, Miss Julie?
Yes! Most of the time. Sometimes, when the weakness comes, when passion rules, oh God, will the fire never die out?
Do you hate me too?
Immeasurably. And I'd have you put to death like an animal.
Oh, I see. The penalty for bestiality. The woman gets 2 years at hard labor and the animal is put to death, right?
Exactly.
But there is no prosecutor here and no animal. So what do?
Go away.
To torment each other to death?
No. To be happy for 2 days, a week, as long as we can be happy, and then die.
Die? That's stupid. It's better to open a hotel.
In a shore of Lake Como, where the sun always shines, and the laurels are green at Christmas, and the oranges glow.
Lake Como is a rainy hole, and I never saw any oranges outside the stores. But tourists are attracted there, and there are plenty of villas to be rented out to lovers, and that's a profitable business. Do you know why? Because they sign a lease for 6 months and then leave after 3 weeks.
Why after 3 weeks?
They quarrel, of course, but they still have to pay their rent in full, and so you rent out the villas again. And that's the way it goes time after time. There's never a shortage of love, even if it doesn't last long.
You don't want to die with me?
I don't want to die at all. For one thing, I like living. For another, I think that suicide is a crime against the providence which gave us life.
You believe in God? You?
Of course I do, and I go to church every other Sunday. To be honest, I'm tired of all this. I'm going to bed.
Are you? And you think I can let it go at that? A man owes something to the woman he's shamed.
Here, I don't like owing anything to anybody.
Do you know what the law states?
Unfortunately, the law doesn't state any punishment for the woman who seduces a man.
Do you see any way out of this but to leave, get married, and then separate?
Suppose I refuse such a mésalliance.
Mésalliance?
Yes, for me. You see, I come from better stock than you do. There's no arsonist in my family.
How do you know?
You can't prove otherwise. We don't keep charts on our ancestors. There's just the police records. But I've read about your family. Do you know who the founder was? He was a miller who let his wife sleep with the king during the Danish War. I don't have any noble ancestors like that. I don't have any noble ancestors at all. But I could become one myself.
This is what I get for opening my heart to someone unworthy, for giving my family's honor.
Oh, dishonor! Well, I told you so. When people drink, they talk, and talk is dangerous.
How I regret it. How I regret it. If you at least loved me.
Oh, for the last time, what do you want? Shall I cry? Shall I jump over your riding crop? Shall I kiss you and lure you off to Lake Como for 3 weeks and then God knows what? What do you want? What shall I do? This is getting painfully embarrassing. But that's what happens when you stick your nose in women's business. Miss Julie, I see that you're unhappy. I know you're suffering. But I can't understand you. We don't have such romantic ideas. Love is a game we play when we get time off from work. We don't have all day and night like you. I think you're sick. Really sick. Your mother was crazy and her ideas have poisoned your life.
Oh, be kind to me. At least now you're talking like a human being.
Be human then yourself. You spit on me and won't let me wipe it off.
Help me! Help me! Just tell me what to do, where to go!
God's name, if I only knew myself!
I'm crazy, out of my mind. Is there anywhere out?
Stay here and stay calm. No one knows anything.
Impossible! The others know and Christine knows.
No, they don't, and they would never figure out something like this.
But it could happen again.
That's true.
And then?
Then? Why didn't I think of that? Yes, there is only one thing to do. Get away from here right away. I can't come with you, then we'd be finished. So you'll have to go alone. Away, anywhere.
Alone? Where? I can't do that.
You must, and before the Count gets back. If you stay, we both know what'll happen. Once you make a mistake like this, you want to continue because the damage has already been done. And then you get bolder and bolder until finally you're caught. So leave. Later you can write to the Count and confess everything. Except that it was me. He'll never guess who it was, and he won't be eager to find out anyway.
I'll go. If you come with me.
Are you out of your head? Miss Julie runs away with her servant. In 2 days it would be in the newspapers, and that's something your father would never live through.